What's up, everybody? This is BK from Big Dog Detailing. I got to tell you, man, I'm so proud of my little brother and Mooney for this 2 years. It's just been a wild ride, a lot of fun. And I tell you what, one thing that gets me through all my cars is listening to Subfacts. I listen to it over and over and over, and I just have a blast every time listening. So give it a shout. Subfacts, the podcast, the number one podcast in my world. I love it. It's been a blast being on it. I'm real proud of you, little bro. Keep it up.
Hello and welcome to Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney. What's up, Mooney?
What's going down, dude?
I just realized that we have to get that updated because it was like it's been a good 2 years. I'm like, man, we're on we're coming up to 4 years.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah, we got to update the bumpers at this point.
And you haven't played the Crypt bumper in a while.
I thought about it, but then I was like, we've done it twice in I think 2 months or a month and a half, and
we've done that one like 4 times.
Not in the same month.
That bumper has been used at least 4 times in the last 2 months.
That's not possible, sir.
Why is it not possible?
Because we've done other bumpers. We have proof.
We do like 4 bumpers.
And we're rotating. We're like the original hockey team.
We do Nerds, we do LeVar, we do Ben, and we do your brother. And then we have like completely forgot about Crypt in like 10 episodes.
I think you're just jonesing for the Crypt one. Maybe next week we'll see how that goes. But but no, I can honestly say we have not played that over. You're gonna hurt my man's feelings. He's gonna be driving down the road going, "What the hell, Mooney?"
I love him. You know I love him. He turned me on to my favorite shoe ever.
Hey, there you go. What is it again?
Hey Dudes.
Hey Dudes.
Yeah, those are the best shoe ever. Like if you don't own a pair of Hey Dudes, like you're dumb.
It definitely do not own.
Is the best shoe on the planet.
Nope, don't own them. But if they're willing to sponsor us, I will be happy to have.
Oh my god! If they sponsored us, I would have every single pair of my.
Because I don't think anybody else is talking about them except for us. So that would give us some
sweet. Brian, email him. See if they'll sponsor us. Thanks, brother.
Sure.
Which, by the way, I don't know if an apology
that didn't sound like an energetic sure.
But see, you know what it is? I think we have to apologize to Brian.
What do we do now?
Yeah, speaking of BK, I was talking to BK, and I had to take him to the airport. He's on a cross country riding a motorcycle from, I think it's like Salt Lake City or something, to here. And we were talking about the show, of course, and he was like, "Not gonna lie, you guys were pretty mean to Brian last week." I think it was more you, sir. But anyway, I was like, "No, well, Brian's cool. We're good like that." But it was when he was doing the warm up, and he went to answer the question, and I think both of us were kind of like, "Oh, look, you wrote the question, so you can answer it." And he's like, "Dude, you guys were harsh on Brian." I'm like, "We should apologize."
That was planned to be funny, though.
I thought it was. I was like, "Yeah, Brian's a good sport about it. He doesn't care." Yeah. So we'll see what this warm up looks like. What's up, Brian? And I'm sorry. At least I am. I don't know about. I can't speak for him either.
Worries. It's all good. It's all in good fun. All right. Here's the warm up this week. First question: why is it that doctors can be late for your appointment, but you can't be?
By the way, nothing funnier than Jack Elam as the doctor in Cannonball Run.
So this question started off as like which movie doctor was the best and funniest, and like I put him and I put like a couple other doctors, and I was like, it's gonna be Jack Elam. That's
no one beats.
If you haven't seen Cannonball Run, folks, I don't know why you're listening to our show, but anyway,
yeah, exactly.
You got to see Cannonball Run, and nobody beats Jack Elam as
nobody, dude.
Yeah, it's the best.
Classic.
And so I even forgot the question because the picture's so awesome.
The question is, and by the way, as soon as I started realizing this, I showed up late for doctor's appointments because if they're going to be late, I may as well be late because then I'm going to be on time.
You know me, I'm a stickler for being on time.
Right, but then you wait in the waiting room and it's like, you play Jeopardy, dude.
Yeah, I'm I do, I pay attention to the rules. They say be there 15 minutes early. I'm there 15 minutes before the 15 minutes, just to make sure.
You're a weirdo.
Well, you got to fill out the little paperwork and all that kind of stuff.
It's the same paperwork.
Yeah, I'm prompt. And so,
I know you are. You're
but it's the people.
oddly
No, but it's
prompt.
the people who show up late that is what makes the doctor late. You know what I mean? It's like if you're 5
That's
minutes late,
completely fabricated and untrue.
if you're 5 minutes late, then he's going to be 5 minutes late, which means
erroneous.
now, and those are the same people that talk to him extra long, which makes B5. Really what it comes down to is you don't know what the ailment is of the person before you. So if they're in a room, if like for me, I get DT, who we both love, I'm quick and to the point. I'm like, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You're done. I don't sit there and ask 50 million questions. Now, I do know people that I live with that ask a bunch of questions.
Really?
And so it's like,
I don't ask questions.
You know, when you ask a lot of questions, they have to sit there and answer because at that point you're buying their time. And
it's
so,
like asking a tax consultant questions. You're never going to get a good answer.
Well, DT gives solid answers.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is if you ask if you have a certain...
Yeah, but it's like,
you're like,
hey,
what's this here? Do I have to worry?
Yeah.
Typically, you have to worry. Typically, you have to do something about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rarely do you get, it's nothing.
Mm-hmm. But that's what it is. Like, I don't think it's a doctor's fault. I'm sympathetic to him. I think it's the a-holes in front of you because I think the doctor doesn't want to be there either. So it's like they like to get in and get out. But it's the people before you that are like, oh, and I had a headache 3 days ago. Does that mean something? You know,
there is someone in this room that does consult the doctor when
I'm not saying I'm not a hypochondriac, but I'm saying when I go there, I go for the one specific thing. I don't bring up a bunch of others.
Right, but then you go for every specific thing that comes up.
I got to a point where now I'm just emailing him. I'm just like, hey, what do you think? And he actually writes back pretty quick. It's like, don't bother coming in. You're fine. Like that kind of thing. Oh, yeah, we're on like a text chain. So, it is what it is.
Nice.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Next question.
Awesome.
Which of these movie franchises need to die the most? So,
fantastic
for
question.
For the listeners that aren't watching the YouTube, which should be watching the YouTube, we have Jurassic Park, we have the James Bond franchise, we have the Fast and Furious franchise, and we have the Avatar franchise.
The only one I would keep is Bond.
No, it's funny. I was going to say I don't even watch the Bonds, but I agree with you. I think that's the only one worth saving.
Yeah, that's the only one worth saving. I know you said die the most, but like my order would probably be die first would be Jurassic, only because I've never been a big fan of dinosaur movies. Then Avatar, then Fast, because they're entertaining. Even though they're unbelievable, they're still entertaining, and they put a lot of hot women in them. And then Bond, you absolutely save. That should go on forever.
I guess
every generation should have a Bond.
My order would be slightly different. I would. I agree with you. I think Avatar goes first.
I didn't say first. I said Jurassic.
Oh,
first,
no.
Avatar second.
Yeah, Jurassic. I would put Jurassic next to Bond as far as the second to go. But so Avatar would be the first, then Fast, then Jurassic, then Bond. I think that would be my order. Because but
Avatar has got 3 more movies, and they should stop now. They shouldn't release any of the others.
I didn't see the latest one. Don't plan on seeing the other ones.
No one liked the second one. I don't even know why they're going to go through with the others because no one's going to see them.
No, Fast and Furious. I dumped out after Tokyo Drift, and then haven't seen one since. And then Jurassic, I didn't see the latest one, but I saw the other 2. So I'm okay with, that to a point. Bond, I'll watch them. I don't care.
I love the Bond movies, but it's going to be tough because Bond is an agent, not necessarily a person. So like Daniel Craig is obviously dead now, but I mean, Bond, they can put anyone in a 007 and make him James Bond. I mean,
and they can reboot that franchise completely and just start over.
Easy.
So
was that Kathleen Kennedy?
Actually, they should. That would have been.
Was that Kathleen Kennedy too? Like, did she kill Bond?
No.
You know how there's that rant on YouTube where Kathleen Kennedy killed like Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Leia, and she killed like a bunch of other people.
Isn't part of that, I think.
Okay, just checking. I wasn't sure. I didn't think so, but it was one of those.
Kathleen Kennedy sucks. I hate her.
Yeah, she's ruining everything apparently in Hollywood.
Yeah, she sucks. She needs to go away. If she ever touches Rocky, I'm actually going to send her a hate mail.
Well, I think I told you I started Creed 3 and I got probably 20 minutes in and I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I dumped because it was obvious. It was very, you could see where it was going.
You can't make that without Stallone.
You really can't.
You can't.
You really can't. And that's it is what it is.
Michael B. Jordan doesn't carry a movie, nor will he ever carry a movie.
Not that one. Nope. And so I just didn't care.
That type of character. He doesn't have that type of screen presence.
Mm-hmm. No.
He's a good actor. Don't get me wrong.
You need Stallone. But yeah, I couldn't finish Creed 3. Like I said, I made it 20 minutes and dumped. It was
as
done.
you should.
Yep.
All right. The last question is, what amount of money would it take to sell your soul?
That's a bad question for Matt.
I know, right? Well, it depends on how quickly I have to deliver my soul versus like, how quickly do I get the money?
Part of the deal,
like,
right?
So like, for instance, if I get like $1 million, do I have to give my soul in like a week or two, or do I have to give my soul like when I'm naturally going to die?
What do you think? It's a payment plan for your soul?
Sure it is. Absolutely.
It's a transaction. You're like 7-Eleven. Someone comes in and buys your soul and they take it out.
No, but
I don't know that it works that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. It's when.
What is this, a layaway? What
do
are you?
It's a deal. Like,
not watch any devil movie. Like literally, like, oh God, you devil and whatnot. You ask for something, and you get a certain level of. Let's say I want fame, or I want this podcast to blow up, right? And I give my soul for it. So then they make us like Joe Rogan famous, right? But then after a good couple years, the devil comes in to cash in on my soul. So it doesn't happen like, because if you don't have a soul, then you're just a empty vessel. And what's the point of having the money?
Are we a house?
What?
What are you doing? Like paying the premium and then you'll finally get to the principal?
That's how it works.
What?
Ryan?
No, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Wait, when do you two decide how buying souls works?
Because this is every movie and TV show that's ever done this.
Every devil. There was even a show.
So wait a minute.
Remember
Devil's Advocate, like, he doesn't buy his soul immediately. He gives him that like well-paying job, and then he
that's a different style. That's a different style of devil.
And he slowly gets like inundated into that like lifestyle.
There was a show called, what was it, Reaper?
Yeah,
I think it was, where it was awesome because these parents basically sold their kid's soul, which I would do that in a heartbeat.
You're selling your kid's soul?
If I had the opportunity.
Sorry, boy.
Like I totally would.
Like what price? $500K?
Yeah, that would pay off the mortgage. Yeah, if they paid off the mortgage, I'd be fine. I'd be like, okay, cool.
You lose your kid.
No, the kid turned 18, I think. It was once the kid turned 18, he had to give his soul to the devil.
So you get him till he's 18, then you lose him.
But I don't have to pay a mortgage each month. You know how awesome that is? And he's a vessel. He's still there. It's just...
I mean, what is he going to see? Well, technically between 18 and 21, you'll see him a little bit. But then after that, you'll see him 3 times a year.
That's what I'm saying. Come on. That's a good deal if I'm talking. Maybe I'd try to bump it to 21, but come on. But no, you don't, because what's the point? If you lose your soul,
when you sell your soul, that's it. They get your soul and you're done.
Your soul is essentially your essence. So your essence is... If he takes it right then and there, then you don't get to actually capitalize on whatever it is that you're trying to get.
What are you talking about? You're still you. You just have a bad soul.
No.
You don't die off.
Your soul goes to hell.
Yeah. Like,
you're still... Hold on.
So what you think of you...
Wait, Brian has something to say.
So I agree with Matt. That, like, I think the thing I was thinking of is the story where the devil makes a deal with somebody for wealth or being famous or whatever, being a great guitar player, whatever.
Robert Johnson.
And then after so much time, like the deal is like when you turn 50, you're going to be the greatest guitar player in the world, but when you turn 50, I'm coming for your soul and you're going to hell.
Yeah, like that happened to Robert Johnson.
You're no longer living?
No, they kill you.
You die and you go to hell.
Yeah, so like the real story with the Crossroads was...
Okay, I don't know if for me, the question doesn't read that way. So if it's that way, then I I don't know.
You're
I mean,
a gambler, dude. I think you would take the money and you would take this.
Right, but I mean, it would depend on. See, I didn't approach it from that way. I thought you would just instead of like, okay, me, I like to think of myself as a good person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm generous, I'm loyal.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I'm a really nice guy. Like I'm gregarious. You know, can I be? Am I emotional? Yeah. Like, can I get a little out of control?
They
Yeah.
would turn you into me.
What I'm saying, yeah. What I'm saying is, I would turn me into a bad person. Like I would be like the next Antonio Brown. Like if they turned me into that,
works,
like.
But okay.
No, that's not how it works. No.
Well, you didn't lay that out.
Well, we just did.
That's how it.
So
works.
we've been
So
talking
now
about
every
this for the
day?
last 10 minutes. That's how it works in this question scenario.
Yeah, but no. Okay. Okay.
Like every TV.
This is a bad. I don't know what
much
to
would
say.
you get?
Like what? 10 million.
All right, there you go. $10 million to die. Let's say
I
I'm the devil.
million, so what
Mooney, what would you like? How much money do you want? $10 million for your soul?
And when, like, can I live till 65? 10 million.
Not
bucks?
for 10 million. For 10 million, you can live to your 45.
Way to negotiate, devil.
So what? Like 5?
Okay, 5. I can give you 5 million, and you can live to your 65.
5 million.
And then you live in eternal damnation.
Yes,
that's fair. And then maybe we can renegotiate. Maybe I get to.
Oh, there's no renegotiate.
What I'm saying is at 58, like let's say, look, hey, I just want to. Can you give me 2 more million, $1 million a year, and you can get me at 60?
No, he's already got you at
65, but he gets me 5 years sooner.
Valid point.
The devil might take that deal.
Might take that deal.
That's what I'm saying. All right, okay.
But you're okay with eternal damnation once you have to pay the fiddler.
I'm okay with absolutely. I'm not. My soul doesn't need to go to heaven. Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm getting cremated, and you can throw my dust in the ocean. I don't care where it lands.
No, but that's your vessel.
I don't turn to dust when they cremate me. I have nothing. What am I?
But your soul, your essence, your consciousness.
That's my inside, but my body's still there. It's dead.
Consciousness would live and suffer in hell for eternity.
Fine. Yeah. But Adam, I
think he's living that now.
all right.
I think it'd be paradise. He'll be like, are we?
I think we need to move on. So,
are we on vacation?
All right, we're moving on. So, yeah, that's the end. Thank you. Great questions, Mooney. This is for you.
Nice. I told you. I'm so mad about that.
Oh, by the way, just folks who are not watching this on YouTube, it's a picture of the Expendables 4, and it's got Jason Statham. Mooney was correct. Last week, I was saying how there's no way Stallone's going to only be in a small part of the movie, and Mooney was saying it's true. And he looked it up. It was in an article, and Stallone's not in it as much as we'd like him to be.
Because the end, I tell you, it's the end. Anytime they put the end, you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got a funny story before we get into anything because I don't know when it's going to fit in later. So get this: you were talking about me being eternal damnation now already. Mm-hmm. So my wife tells me that she picked me up some soup from the place that I love, an Eden Center, which is like the complete Vietnamese headquarters, right? Mm-hmm. So I like 2 places, but I like one more than the other. Mm-hmm. So I say, get my soup with roast pork and noodles from Viet Foods. And she agrees. She gets it from Viet Foods, but then she gets something from the other place that we go to, which is Hyung Viet. And as soon as she went in there, she got her order, and the dude behind the counter is like, "What? You're not getting any soup for your husband?" Like the husband knows me and like knows that I get soup every time. Wow. So he was like trying to upsell her on soup for me, and she's like, "Oh no, like he's out of town, like whatever."
That is sad in a weird sort of way. It means you're going there way too much.
Well, she goes there every week.
Dude, I was like that at Dunkin' Donuts for a while, where it's Matt.
Yeah, no, but I don't go. But she goes and brings me soup home every week.
But what I'm saying is if you go to anything enough times, well, look at my whole thing with Vicelli's, The fact that I went there so much that when I didn't go, they called because they were worried about me.
And they gave you a free pizza.
Yeah, they gave me free pizza, but they literally thought I died or something. And it was just like, wow. But yeah, that's what happened. You're now in that zone of you go here way too much. I always think it's weird. I dated a girl once who was...
You think it's weird to go to a place a lot?
Yeah, like I dated a girl once who was...
What do you mean by
she
that?
managed like a Starbucks, and she was like, oh, I love our customers and stuff. And I'm like, nobody should love your customer. You should love customers. In general.
That's stupid.
No.
When I worked at Pottery Barn, there's absolutely customers I love.
No. You just get in and get out. Don't be
wrong. There are customers you love. That customers come in the store, you hang out with, you know they're cool, they're going to buy something. You talk to them, and they're not mean.
You
They're
can
always
like some better than others, but they shouldn't be like. You shouldn't go, "Hey Murray, how's everything going?"
What are you talking about?
Get in. Get
I
your
went over
coffee
some
and
customer's
leave.
house and had like wine and stuff with them.
Wow. I don't even want to know people. Like when I go to the grocery store, I don't
You're-
want them to say, "Hey Matt,
you're
what's up?" I don't
A
want to know.
curmudgeon most of the time.
I'm just saying I don't want to know them. I'm there to buy something, sell it to me, and so I can leave.
They're people too. You get to know them just like anybody else.
And it's fine. I say please and thank yous like a champ.
What's the difference between you going to Pottery Barn and buy something, talk to someone there, and then talking to someone at Halloween?
I'm not looking for best friends. I'm basically saying, hey, yeah, I say hi, they say hi, and that's it.
Wow.
I don't need to be like, I don't need to know these people. I got enough friends.
Telling you, if Gemma Chan was behind the counter at Starbucks, I'd strike up a conversation.
That's a different story. But I mean,
oh, now you're playing rules.
No, I'm saying I still probably wouldn't. I would be like, I would try to go to her line, but I wouldn't necessarily like. No, but I just hate the people, the hanger-oners. I hate the people like I don't want to know you. Just give me my order and let me be done.
Okay.
Right? Am I wrong?
I used to there was when I was in high school there was a girl that worked at a grocery store that went to my school that I fancied, and I would go hang out there and like purposely go shop just to like.
Oh, you were the guy. How'd that work?
Did not work out.
Yep, exactly. No, I'm just kidding.
Man,
no, but would you do that? Like, have you?
Yes, I went to the Baskin Robbins where I liked a woman, and absolutely.
How do you make that move, by the way? Like, how do you you said she worked at a grocery store.
Fancy meeting you here. Like, I don't know.
But like, did you just stick
no,
around?
I would just go in a lot,
line?
and I would just go to her line and be like, hey, what's up? Like, good to see you. Like, how's everything going? And what are you up to? And it was
by the way,
like, I'm going to go hang out with my boyfriend after. And I was like, damn it. And,
if she liked Brian, she absolutely, and this is, I don't want to sound, what I'm saying is the move doesn't matter. If the other person is reciprocatory, whatever, and they like you, they're going to go for the move. So like, if that person was into Brian and Brian went in there every 2 or 3 days, that the chick would find it like cool and be like, oh, this is awesome. Like, maybe I should hang out with this guy.
Okay.
If Chris Hemsworth was macking on a chick and he went into the Starbucks every 3 days to meet like a blonde hottie, of course that blonde hottie's going to go for it.
Yeah,
but if I do the same move, she's going to think I'm a creepazoid. That's
what I'm saying. None of us here are Chris Hemsworth. So that's like,
so that means we can't go after a woman?
No, but your Baskin and Robbins thing. What was your move on that? Did you?
Well, I mean, she worked at the high school whatever, so she sort of knew me, but it was cool to go up there and say hello and whatever. She came to my graduation party.
Did you ever actually pull the move while she was working?
No, I never asked her out while she was working.
Okay. Brian, did you know the girl she said
she had a boyfriend? She had a boyfriend her whole time in high school, and it was one of those things where I would just try to check in and see if maybe they broke up.
Okay.
Check in.
Yeah, I was I never really did the stalker-ish type thing except for one time, but it was at a gym. It wasn't the person's work. It was they were working out, and I went to the gym a lot extra just to make sure I got the schedule down. But I wasn't somebody where they worked.
See, that's
there.
stalker. That's stalker. Is
different. That more stalker than you guys?
If she was, I would look in, and if she was working, I would go in. I wouldn't know her schedule.
Yeah, it's kind of you work out
you worked out extra just to time this girl.
I worked out extra to see if it was the same rough schedule. So it was pretty much the same rough schedule as what I was already.
A little bit stalker.
Stalker? That's more stalker.
Semi-stalker.
I imagine you guys. I imagine you ordering an ice cream cone, but then sitting at the table right there staring. And Brian's hey, can I help you bag the next customer's groceries? That's how I have it in my head.
No, you just go in, you say hello, and then you leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go through the line. I'd buy a case of beer or something and be like, hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Okay.
Good to see you.
She brightens up
a
little bit. What's the big deal?
You're hanging out with your boyfriend. Oh, okay. See ya.
Fair enough. Okay. The show's going to be called Stalkers. Um,
Oh no, don't do that.
no, we're not, because we'll get killed on that one. Before we get into the meat of the show, I guess I should say, there's some administrative stuff, and I'm getting it out early because a lot of times we do this at the end, and then we get those emails that go, "What happened? How come you didn't do a show?" Okay, folks, pay attention. We're 25 minutes in.
There'll be a quiz.
No, anyway, pay attention. We are doing a show next week, but we will not be doing a show the following 2 weeks. So we're going to take a 2-week vacation. So we will not be doing a show. Mooney and I might do some things for the YouTube.
Yeah, we probably will.
We might do something, we might not, but for the most part, the show itself will be on a 2-week hiatus. So in those 2 weeks, go listen to it, old shows, tell people about this show.
Yeah.
Try to boost the numbers,
Reminisce,
and all that kind of good stuff.
Boost the number.
But we will officially be on a 2-week hiatus. Hiatus, yes. Once again, we will do a show next week, just not the next 2 weeks. So enjoy your summer vacation, folks. Okay. With that being said, this weekend is Father's Day.
Yes,
coming up.
It is.
And so I was thinking about, Father's Day and all this kind of stuff. And I think we've already talked about how like Mother's Day is the true.
Yeah. Father's Day is a forgotten day.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I will say I'm kind of weird. Like I'm kind of feeling weird about this Father's Day because I totally shortchanged my wife on Mother's Day. Because it was one of those like, hey, we agreed.
You didn't put full effort in.
No, totally short.
Which is fine because, who knows if she's going to go full effort for you.
Well, she already said she got like a gift, and I was just like, and trust me, I got a little gift for her, but I'm talking like, very, very cheap, very, very small, something like that. And so I kind of get the feeling she might have overdid it, whereas like for Mother's Day, she got shortchanged. So we'll see.
It'll balance.
In the grand scheme of things, it probably, I'm probably,
she's up.
Yeah, she's up. But I mean, for the most part, it's
kind
of weird.
Balance.
Anyway, with that being said, I stopped thinking about my own Father's Day and started thinking about the various TV dads because
TV dad.
As you know, I grew up in front of the TV.
Yes, you did.
And my parents got divorced when I was 4. So my TV dads were almost like my real
dads, yeah.
And so
we had a lot of TV dads.
I know. So I had a bunch of TV dads, and so many dads that I was like, man, I wish that was my dad. No offense to my real dad who doesn't listen to this show, so it doesn't matter.
Right. And forgets your own birthday.
That's true. I always leave that secret. No. But anyway, so I've always looked at TV dads as like, man, that dude's a solid dude, So I wanted to go through the top 5 TV dads.
Awesome. All right, let's do it.
And so, with that being said, I think we'll go round robin like we normally do.
All right, I'm not going first. I went first last time.
We'll work our way 5. Sure, if you want, we'll go 5 to 1, but we'll go round robin. So it'll be Brian, then you, then me, or Brian, then me, then you. Okay. Brian, then me, then you.
All right.
Okay, Brian.
My number 5, I'm taking Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Whoa.
Great dad.
That's a solid
great dad.
Pick.
He's always there for his kids. He had a solid job, beautiful house. He adopted 3 kids that weren't even his. And
he also, when he had a cool vacation with his job, he always took the family with.
Yeah. He was a pimp dad.
He took him to Hawaii. He took him to the Grand Canyon, and he took him to the King's Dominion. It was like King's Island.
No, and he was always there. Yeah. Always listened, even if he got home late. Kissed his kids goodnight.
Yeah, and he also did school talent shows. Like if my kid goes, "Hey, I'm in a talent show. Can you be a participant in it?"
He was in the Silver Platters.
No, Silver Platter. No, that wasn't for a talent show. That was because they needed to win money. That was.
Oh, okay. That was
because they needed to win money to pay off the Silver Platter engraving.
Oh, okay.
They didn't realize it was like 10 cents a letter versus 10 cents a word. So, no, but when the school, Jefferson High, had like a talent show thing, he would like participate. And I'm like, dude,
no idea.
That dude's a solid dude.
Had a hot wife too.
he might show up higher on some people's lists.
Cal Brady was hot.
Okay, she was good at the time.
Yeah, at the time, not right now. But
I always think of her now as like the Wesson lady, you know.
Yeah.
Now she's dead, R.I.P. But anyway,
time I was like, I would do stuff.
And he wasn't, because you know he was into dudes in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yep. Okay. Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
My number 5. I kind of looked at it as like the dad that I'd want to hang out with. Is how I kind of looked at as
Good
mine.
approach.
Morally might be a little lack, but I chose Al Bundy because
nice
He
choice.
was terrible to his kids.
I could watch some sports.
No, he's not. He's
I could
an
watch,
awesome dad.
I'd watch some football, polk high football with him, and you know, not to mention like, you know, if somebody was like messing with me, he'd probably throw down.
Yeah, he would.
I think you guys are forgetting. Like he was terrible to his kids. Like didn't care what his daughter was doing. Thought his son was a complete idiot. I mean, all he did was work to like,
idiot.
you know.
Son was. I would be different. I wouldn't be Bud. Me and Al would be in part of
great
No
character, hilarious, but I don't think he was that great a dad.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, already S and on Matt's list.
Al Bundy, number 5, folks.
All right, my number 5. I kind of like the dude, and you know he was good, like awesome neighbor, like good to his kids, funny. Picture the guy like you would probably always entertain it if there was nothing to do at the house. You know, back then you didn't have constant like all those streaming channels, but you had to play board games.
Sure.
So Tim Taylor, that's my boy.
Excellent dad.
Awesome.
Always, you know, did cool things, projects with his kids. Was always there to give him good advice.
And by the way, imagine learning from him. Like, I mean, you would know, like later in life, you'd be set.
Well, no, you'd have to go to Al Borland because Tim didn't really know much, but he's got connections with Al.
Okay,
but
all right.
No, but Tim Taylor, don't think
Fair
I
enough.
don't have an autograph. Don't think I don't.
What?
Yeah, Tim Taylor's a solid pick.
Very good.
my God.
All right, my number 4. I'm going to take Philip Banks from The Fresh Prince.
Awesome.
Uncle Phil.
Really good call.
Yeah, he's awesome. You can't argue. But then again, well, no, because
He was a little strict.
Yeah, but if you think about it, Carlton turned out okay. Whitley turned out okay. Was it Whitley or Whitney? By the way, she was okay. Karen Parsons, I believe.
All 3 of his kids turned out great, and then his nephew turned out great in the end too. So
yeah, doesn't hurt having a ton of cash. Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm all for that one. I love the pool episode where he like saves, you know, Will's butt in the pool hall. Yeah, he's awesome, dude.
My number 4 is Ted Lasso, because
dude,
I didn't think anyone else would.
he left the country. I mean, he goes back for him at the end.
He was divorced. Don't think he's
No,
not very high on someone's list.
he absolutely did everything he could for his kid.
Absolutely.
You know, he was always there, always giving great advice.
I will.
He showed that he truly enjoyed being with
That's
his
true.
kid.
He was a fantastic dad.
I put him above.
Higher on someone's
I
list.
put him above Al Bundy for sure.
Wow, look at Brian. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Kyle's gonna make fun of me again. Sorry, Kyle.
I know. Right? I think Ted Lasso, like
we'll talk about him in a second.
but he provided for his kid and everything.
Absolutely.
Okay, fair enough.
Stealer. I hate going.
Brian's
It
gonna crush
was
my
your
whole
decision to
pick.
go last.
Yeah, but I didn't think someone would have him at 4.
All right,
I got
what's your
some
number
top
4?
shelf people.
My number 4 is Jack Arnold. And I had to go Jack Arnold because Wonder Years was my favorite show ever growing up. And there is no one better than Jack Arnold at the time. Kevin's dad. And he's a Jets fan. Taught his son to be a Jets fan. And he was a good family guy.
He was a stand-up guy.
Stand-up guy. I mean, I don't know if he was the best all-around father, but he did the basics.
He was a little grumpy, like he was like, he just wanted to go home and watch TV, like every dude does. And so, but he was a stand-up dude. He showed up when he had to.
Yeah,
I can't argue.
Good choice.
All right,
my number 3 is Tim Taylor from Home Improvement.
Boom.
Excellent dad for all the reasons we already talked about.
Boom.
Love him.
My number 3.
You're gonna steal another one.
No, I'm thinking about calling an audible. Just because one we've already talked about, but I can't not do it. Never mind, I'm just gonna do it. Mike Brady, number 3.
Yep.
It's the same thing because once again, he did everything as awesome as a dad. So can't argue.
Like you said, vacations,
Yeah,
always there for his family, adopted kids.
The only thing weird is he put his
Reliable.
6 kids with one bathroom that they had to share. That was kind of weird, but as an
Yeah,
artist,
but that teaches adversity.
that was a 60s and 70s thing, I think. So
that was adversity. That was adversity.
All right, only because he's in my favorite movie of all time, I had to choose him. It is Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Like, how can you argue that Carl Winslow wasn't a superb dad?
Great dad, I can't argue.
Right? I mean,
he was even good to Urkel to a point.
It was good to Urkel. Like, Urkel annoyed him a little bit, but
I'm not going to argue.
Ran his family well, always provided.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was stand-up guy.
Totally.
Carl Winslow, solid dad. What I like about it is we're actually highlighting all these great dads. There isn't really that's a bad one except for.
Here's the thing.
Bundy
I would throw. Because I'm not. Maybe we'll mention them later. I'm not. I'm gonna talk about them later. There's some dads I didn't want to include because they look so magoo. I'm not doing that. I want dads that look cool.
Carl Winslow was like cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
He wasn't cool in Die Hard.
He was absolutely cool in Die Hard. He saved the entire day at the end.
But he wasn't. Like, there's a different cool. Like, there's Cobra, Marion Cobretti.
You
cool.
wouldn't hang out with a guy who's a cop and eats Twinkies? Are you kidding?
I would, but it wouldn't make us cool.
He's cool.
Like, I would be eating Twinkies with him, but it doesn't make him cool.
He's not your... Sorry, he's not your camel smoking,
But that's what I'm saying. He's a good dude. He's a stand-up guy.
Stand-up guys, in my opinion, are cool. I would hang out with him.
It's like a...
I'm sure he could play cards, drink a beer.
It's like a Paul Blart, quite frankly.
Yeah, fine. But he can hang out with him.
We could totally hang out with him. It doesn't make him cool.
I agree. I don't think he's... I agree with Matt. My number 2 is I'm taking Danny Tanner from Full House.
Oh, Danny Tanner.
Not a bad pick.
Danny Tanner's a great pick. I mean, how can you argue one of like the nicest dads of all time?
Yeah, because it was funny. I think it was...
And that wasn't his personality. To play that character,
right.
Holy cow.
There was an episode where DJ literally drove a car into the house and he turned it around like, well, maybe it was my fault for like leaving the keys out. It was something stupid like that. And I'm like, damn, Danny Tanner's a saint.
He's a saint and a half.
If I drove
he got
the car...
a little bit, they ran over him a little bit too much. He needed to get the foot down a little more, but...
You don't... If I drove a car into the house, you wouldn't. I wouldn't be here to do this podcast. But he turned it around like somehow it was his fault. I'm like, wow, Danny Tanner's a saint.
Yeah, I mean, he's the biggest saint on the list so far.
Okay, that was number
2.
Please, no one say mine, please.
My number 2 is the guy who I thought was everybody's dad growing up and should be, was Howard Cunningham. So
Howard Cunningham
from Happy Days. The dude was a man's man.
Howard Cunningham's a man's man?
Yes. He worked at a hardware store. He owned a hardware store, actually.
Howard Cunningham.
But he was a member of the Grand Poobahs, which was he had his like men's club.
I mean, he's a good dad. Don't get me wrong, but
Richie turned out okay. Joni turned out okay.
You want to go cool versus cool? I'll take what do you call it? Carl Winslow versus Howie Cunningham any day of the week.
Howard Cunningham even took in the Fonz and was big with the Fonz. Like, dude, no, Howard Cunningham was solid all around. That was I'm telling you.
Howard Cunningham.
When I was a little
He's
me,
good dad. I mean, I'm not going to clown him, but
if at that time, if I could pick a dad, Howard Cunningham would have been. Don't think he wouldn't. You know,
I think it's solid.
Howard Cunningham. And don't think I'm not watching football with Howard Cunningham. You know, he'd be a Green Bay Packers fan, but I'd watch.
I don't know if he would watch football. He didn't seem like a sports fan.
He totally did.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a sports fan to me.
No, he was.
We don't know. We have no idea. We
it
gotta
was in the show. It was in the show. Actually, did you know Richie had an older brother in the first season, who was like a basketball player and was Howard was going to the games and stuff.
All right.
Not many people realize Richie had an older brother, but anyway.
Or what do we have? Two? It stole my thunder like Ted Lasso. And Brian, I don't understand how, like Matt said, this guy called his son all the time.
Now that I think about it, I agree. He did try. He was going through a nasty divorce, separation and divorce.
The wife went like rope.
You're right. I take that back.
Who did the wife hook up with?
The doctor.
Their counselor.
Their counselor.
Which is like illegal. Like he could lose his license for that.
I hate the wife too, and they tried to give her a little bit of like, oh, she's not that bad. I'm like,
in the
no,
first
she
season,
is that bad.
Yeah,
no,
I hate her.
She's that
terrible.
bad.
If anyone would expire out of all those characters, I wish.
I made it even. I was upset they even like made it seem like he was going back to create another relationship.
In like the third season, last season, yeah. But anyway. Ted Lasso.
So my number one seems safe. I don't think it's going to be taken.
I don't think you guys.
I think we're all going to have different number ones. So my number one, I'm taking America's Dad, Cliff Huxtable from The Cosby Show.
Oh, great!
Terrible person.
Try not to roofie anybody on your way home.
Terrible person in real life, but in the show, amazing dad. Amazing.
You're right. By the way, it's a great choice. I couldn't think of him.
I didn't think of him either.
But that's an amazing choice.
Well, you know what it is?
The character ended up being
his real life
psycho, but
I think the real life kicks in, and I was telling you earlier, the real life overpowers the show, Dad, because I was going to use Conrad Bain, who was Mr. Drummond. I'm pretty sure safe. Nobody picked him as your number one, but in real, like he was great on the show, but in real life, all of the kids that were on the show were in drugs and died and all kinds of stuff. So I know it has nothing to do with Conrad Bain, aka Mr. Drummond, but that overpowered the show for me. So I couldn't put him on my list for that reason.
I mean, that would be like saying Seven's not a good movie because Kevin Spacey's in it.
Well, I know, but that's unfortunately what kind of tainted my view. So that's why, like, Heathcliff Huxtable.
You said he would never taint your stuff, would never taint views for you like that. You've even made claims.
Yeah, that would probably, like I said, it did in this case. I don't know why. I'm just throwing it out there. But Heathcliff Huxtable, outside of the real life,
Heathcliff, great name.
That is pretty solid. I like that challenge. And so, okay, my number one is Edward Stratton III from Silver Spoons, because. Once again, I looked at dads I would want.
I thought you would have had like Jason Seaver or something. Dad.
No, but the thing, it wasn't that he was just rich.
He was very rich.
It was very rich, but he liked toys and he liked all gadgets. He liked
arcade games.
Yeah, the
cars,
arcade. He had the train that went around the complex.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. What dad is going to let you do that? Like, can you imagine? He's just like, he's a cool dad where he's like, we're going to put trains all around our complex. He was.
But he could have put a lazy river around the complex.
Who says he didn't? We don't know.
I didn't see it. He could have put a putting green. He could have put a chipping thing.
He probably did. Their complex
could have put a football field with tackling dummies.
Their complex was huge. To have a train go from like different location to location was pretty.
Imagine you had like a football field with like little guys going back and forth. You can practice being a quarterback.
And like he had to be stern when he had to be stern, but for the most part,
which was when never.
Rarely, but I'm saying he had the ability to do that. But for the most part, he was a cool dude. He was a guy you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
You could make jokes with him. You could go, hey, we're going to have a Nerf fight. We're going to do all this stuff. And he was down. He was willing to go.
He was.
So Edward Stratton III.
All right. Good choice. I'm happy my number one stayed intact. I'm very, very happy about it. Fred Flintstone.
I thought of him, but I didn't put him on because
I
of
figured
you.
you were going to put him on there, so I didn't put him
Yeah.
on.
I
Like
assumed.
Bowler, like you said, Grand Poobah, whatever he was.
Yeah.
Like good appetite, like classy dresser, awesome friend, hot wife, and then he was like, he always provided for Pebbles.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking of hot wife, Aaron Gray with Edward Stratton III.
Oh yeah,
Nothing wrong
Nope.
there.
nothing wrong
Definitely
there at
good.
all. All right, I love.
I'm surprised nobody said Jason Seaver from Growing Pains.
He was on my list, but I didn't put him on because I thought Mooney would, because he was a big fan of Maggie Seaver.
Right, I was.
Jason Seaver was a little wussy to me.
And that's the thing. That's why I didn't put Jack Keaton on there.
Yeah.
Like I would have put him on there normally, but like he was like what, 5'11", 104 pounds. Like
yeah,
he
like
looked,
a little mamby-pamby.
and he was mamby-pamby.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I mean, he had this really successful son, and he was like little mamby-pamby.
Honestly, I almost had Tony Maselli on my list too.
Oh, that would have been a great
good one, too.
choice.
But if you think about it, while he was a baseball player in the show, or a boxer,
He was a
I think it was an
boxer.
ex-baseball player.
Thought.
I couldn't remember because Taxi,
No, you're right.
he was
You're
a
right.
boxer.
You're right. It was baseball.
It was baseball and Who's
Yeah,
the Boss.
baseball and tax. And
And Who's the Boss?
baseball and Who's the Boss.
But it's almost like once he started cleaning Angela's house, all his man card just went right out the window. Like, did you ever notice he was never like, he didn't have a manly quality about him once he started like cleaning
But I
the
think
house?
that was part of the joke of the show.
That was part of the joke, but I'm
'Cause
like,
did that-
it went on for 8 years or however many years. It was just like, come on, dude. You know,
Did he ever hook up with the?
they did eventually.
They
Yeah.
did. Oh.
And Mona. That's the only thing I could not figure out. Mona was supposed to be this like slutty grandma or whatever, and was Katherine Hellman ever attractive? Like they just made it like Mona was just constantly hooking up,
the
and I'm
name
like,
alone,
who's hooking up
like
with
the
Mona?
name alone, just like like
Mona.
Like you're gonna hook up with Samantha and Angela, but
Terrible.
Mona.
Ugh.
Mona's getting buns every show.
Getting buns.
But anyway, solid list, and thank you to the TV dads out
of our
there
generation.
and
Yep.
the current dads, the good dads in this world. Thank you for all you do.
Yes.
Boom. And so I had another topic, but it'll be small, but we can, I had a curiosity. So I was thinking about like weird kids growing up. I think I was telling the boy, like,
Weird kids?
every neighborhood has, like, when you grow up, every neighborhood has a weird kid.
Yeah.
Like there was a kid in my school that like made out with trees.
Oh,
Made no sense. No one understood it.
what?
And he was always just the weird kid and was the weird kid forever. But once you like graduated, you leave the school or leave the area, you never know what happens to that weird kid.
Never.
And it seems to me that everybody has a weird kid, but I don't think there's as many weird adults. Maybe there are, but like,
No, there are a lot of weird adults.
no, but in our world, maybe it's just the people you run into. Like, did those weird kids ever become like a normal member of society?
Probably not. They're the weird people you know today.
Because I guess maybe I don't like, there's weird people in the world and I get that part, but I mean, like, is there anybody that you know that like could have possibly made out with a tree when they were in elementary school or middle school or whatever?
Well, I mean, maybe. Like, I don't talk to those people.
Like, think about like
You are the one that I avoid these people.
I know, but
You these are the people that you like and make friends with.
so the weird kid in your neighborhood, what did they do? Like, what made them the weird kid?
I don't know what made him the weird kid because I never hung out with them, but I know they're weird.
But you knew they existed, and there was every school has a weird kid. And it's always one grade. Every grade has one, and every grade has that kid.
But I don't know why he was weird. He just was weird. Like, he would dress funny. He would just like not talk to anybody, sit in the corner, like say weird things in the classroom. I don't know. Outside of that, I never hung out with weird kids.
Because I'm like, the dads should check their weird kid. Like, if your kid's weird, you'd be like, come on,
Well,
get
yeah.
into it. So that's where I was just kind of curious about the weirdness. Brian, did you have any weird kids? You had weird kids.
Oh,
in your-
definitely. They were definitely weird kids.
Have you ever seen any of them
I have
as
not.
adults now?
It's like they disappeared into a black hole. No idea.
That's what I'm saying. It's just weird. Like, what happens to these weird kids?
Well, they definitely wouldn't go to a reunion.
Unless they came back cool. Like if they came,
Yeah, well, I mean, if
they became a rock star, like D.
Right.
Snyder will say he was a weird kid.
Right. They're a reclamation story, right?
Yeah,
sure.
but like I want to know what happens to the weirdos that I went to school with. I'm gonna have to look into them.
That thought has never entered my body. What happened to the weird kids?
Yeah. Like, did they just fall off the face of the earth or fall into a black hole, or did they?
Like, I have no time to worry about the weird kids.
Oh, I do. When you have kids, you have to worry about it because you're like, dude,
You just worry about your kid being weird.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is where are the parents on that?
You could tell if your kid is weird.
Yeah, and like I said, I let him know.
The letters come home or whatever. We worried about him, doesn't have any friends. Or
like I level with him. I'm like, dude, whatever you do, don't pee yourself in school or poop. I said, kids don't forget. I said, you will be
never forget.
No, and I tell him like the way you're supposed to. Just be like, dude, come on, you can't actually wear that because you're gonna get clowned.
Well,
for the rest
now
of your
you can
life.
wear weird stuff because kids
you
wear.
Can get
everything.
away with some things, but as a dad, I think you should step up and go, look,
yeah,
come on.
If it's not your look, don't wear it.
Don't be that kid. You're not gonna be the weird kid. Don't be that guy. So I don't know. I think about that stuff. But
you and you alone
makes me a good dad. Boom. Okay, so we'll skip the other story because in interest of time. So let's see. Ask somebody about raising weird kids.
Mailbag.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, folks, it's time for mailbag.
That was one of your better ones. You don't usually ever come across.
Well, I was going to say, like, if you don't know
that
who
was
the weird,
actually a good one. Normally, he sucks the mailbag.
I was going to say, if you don't know who the weird kid is, it may be you.
Right, but that was good. You actually nailed that transition.
Awesome.
That was actually pretty good.
Well, thank you, sir.
All right.
There's a dig on me, but I get it.
So we have 2 mailbags this week, and the first one is from Space Coast Bill, and his title is Movies. The subject. He says, Rambo Last Blood was so bad. He said, I must have misheard you guys.
Stop reading.
I thought you said it was a good movie, but I wasted my time based on your recommendation. I am opposed to turning off a movie once I start it, but I was really close to turning Rambo off. It was that bad.
You must not have seen the same movie.
Did you watch Rambo Last Blood?
Yeah, that's weird.
If you watched the one before Last Blood, that one wasn't as good, but it's not turn offable.
Okay,
that one was good. Last Blood, the last bit of it was awesome. The whole first part of it, like I don't know. It was.
Maybe they're not used to Stallone getting beaten up. Maybe that was it.
Yeah, but I mean,
that is a little bit of a turnoff. But the movie's pretty damn.
It's called
great.
a setup. People, they have to. They have to.
I get it.
Lay the groundwork.
Oh, maybe we're on our own island. I can't imagine it, but
I'm never coming off that. It's a phenomenal movie.
We both saw the movie separately, and we're like, it's just as good, if not better than the first.
I texted you as soon as I walked out. I was like, awesome.
Yeah, and I agree. I loved it. Yeah,
right.
Weird.
He goes on to say, then after last week's warm-up, he's come to the realization that Mooney should be the movie guy. He said he's never met a male that did not like Kill Bill, and now he can no longer trust Matt's opinions on movies.
Oh,
you know, it doesn't make sense though.
I heard that.
So I said this about Kill Bill, right?
I heard that.
But you and I both loved Rambo. So does that just negate the whole thing? Like, should he go to Brian for the movie guy?
I loved Kill Bill and Rambo. You're the person who didn't like Kill Bill, and there are not many. He's right. There's not many males who don't like Kill Bill. What do you not like about Kill Bill?
You know what it is? It was. I couldn't tell you the storyline, but it was the way it was shot in the various, like, oh, we're gonna go black and white now, then we're gonna go into weird, like, it had weird.
Tarantino does that, man,
and that's why he sucks. He annoys me. It's like first year film student crap. It's like, let me show it all the tricks I have up my sleeve.
I thought it was cool.
Just make the movie. Don't do all these different stupid shots.
I don't know.
Yep.
I love it.
So I got really annoyed with that. So the storyline could be great. The violence could be great. I tapped out because I got annoyed.
All right. That was Space Coast email. Thank you, Space Coast. Great email.
Thank you, Space Ghost.
Thank you, Space
The
Ghost.
second email is from Rob from Leesburg. And Rob's subject is old homework. And he says, boys, boys, boys. He says, hello, subfactspodcast@gmail.com. He says, I agree with your movie poster selections. Not that his opinion counts on our podcast.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Throwing a little shade there.
People, it's wrong.
You know what? I talked to him about it. And I sort of agree with him here.
Mm.
The problem is there is no, like, they don't get a retaliation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they submit something and we clown.
They can
can't
write back.
rebut.
They can write back.
They can write back, but it's a week later. So then it like loses some steam.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
good
saying?
point.
Like the Ted Lasso, Brian had like 3 minutes later and he was like, okay, maybe you're right. Like a week later, maybe it doesn't have the
Maybe
same
they
steam.
should come into the show and be on the show.
Get
Yeah, you
yourself
should.
Get yourself a show.
He's always welcome.
No, that's
So
true.
he did provide some movie posters, some honorable mentions. He's got this
right,
James
here we
Bond movie poster, Shaken Not Stirred.
Love it.
That is a
That is a
classic.
really good. Which one's that?
It just
I
doesn't
think it's one of
matter,
the
it's a James-
Daniel Craig ones. It looks like Daniel Craig.
Yeah, it looks like
But it's the same thing. It's him in a
Right.
spiral.
That's
thing.
pretty
not
similar.
always the same poster.
Every James Bond is the same.
In the start of the beginning, it's the posters.
yeah.
Animal
House,
House. I
yeah,
think we had Animal House in one of ours.
Pretty sure.
This one's great. 10.
Oh, that's not a bad one.
That's not the picture I remember from 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the other one's a
it's
full
Bo
frontal,
Derek.
yeah.
Yeah, Bo Derek.
Well, I think we
doing
talked
the
about this. There's some like alternates that are good too.
thing. Yeah,
That's the best of the
Yeah,
Star
that
Wars
was
one.
good.
There's like 3. That's
Yeah.
the best.
yeah. I can't argue.
Classic. And then the
Oh,
Oh,
we didn't
the
mention that
vacation
one.
which
Me
is
personally, I like the European one, but yes, because it's the same style, but the same. I love that. Like the
That is a great
That is
one.
great choice.
I might have to replace one of mine, but that's a great choice. I forgot. That poster is fantastic.
Yeah, the vacation posters are all pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Well, Christmas
Like I said,
Vacation
Europe-
poster wasn't the best.
No, say European Vacation's my favorite of the vacations
Vacation and
movies.
Euro were both really good.
So yeah,
All right. Well, that was Rob's email. Thank you, Rob.
Nice.
good stuff. Thank you, Rob. Let's see where we are now. Every time I hear that, I want to have James Earl Jones's voice afterwards, so I could be like, "I agree. Now it's time for movies." You know, like I want to be able to like do a James Earl Jones voice. Okay, movies this week, folks. I think the biggest movie coming out this week is going to be that movie Elemental. It's the Disney.
Oh, yeah. That
Pixar-
one actually looks pretty good.
I'm not going to see it, but it's going to be huge.
If I'm scrolling through Showtime or HBO, whatever, I'll watch Elemental.
Yeah, like when my kid was young and he liked all that stuff, I went to all of them and I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
But you get like, I don't know. I don't think I would watch. I'm just saying, I don't think I would watch it even if it was. I did watch that Soul movie though by myself, and that was actually really good. So maybe I would. But I wouldn't go. I'm not going to go to the movie theater for it. But
Me either. But it looks pretty good.
Kids movies these days are really
Blowing
it up. So don't think Elemental isn't going to just.
Oh, it's gonna
crush
the box.
So
office.
then the next movie that I keep getting mixed reviews, I guess, is The Flash. The problem with it, I
do
think,
want to see it.
the problem is I
do.
think it's going to be
can't.
I think it's going to be a good movie, but the problem is we all know it'll never be a sequel. They're never going to have a Flash sequel.
Of course, I'll have a Flash sequel.
No, Ezra Miller is like already canceled in the world.
That you can replace Ezra Miller.
Yeah, but when you replace somebody, you're taking a big hit.
Why?
Because what if people don't bond to him like they did the original?
All you got to do is get someone who looks remotely like him, and that's not.
That
tough.
might make it worse. If it's that obvious that you're faking them.
Well, then get someone different. It's not that hard to get someone to play Flash. But it's a character.
Yeah, I don't even remember what Ezra Miller is. He's just a jerk in person. Like is he
He's like a really
I don't
weird
think he's-
dude. He abused some underage people.
okay, so
potentially,
yeah, he can't
and
come
stuff.
back from
And
that. He can't come back from that even if the movie's amazing.
Right, but they can get someone else.
He also like apparently like kidnapped a couple or something like that and like held them hostage.
I feel like Susan Sarandon or
Why are they
somebody
even
was in that
releasing
world.
this movie with him?
Well, because they already
Because
spent
they already
hundreds of
spent-
millions of
They already
dollars on the
spent
movie.
a ton of money on it. Yeah.
Take the hit and recast.
And apparently, like from what I understand, it's a good movie and he's great in it. But the problem is, it's like, yeah, he's a turd.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh man, I would take the hit and recast.
But I do think that's gonna ruin the numbers for the movie and the fact that it could be the
will.
best movie DC's ever done, but because he's canceled already, I don't think, and they know it's not.
I
gonna
think
be
the
a
real draw for this movie is Michael Keaton coming back as Batman.
I think that's what they're banking
and then the
on.
super chick,
Yeah,
or
I don't think
Supergirl.
that people care. It's Michael
I think
Keaton, and that's
banking
what's going to
on.
make this any money for this movie is because of Michael Keaton.
Yep. And so, anyway, I'm not going to see it anyway. I'll see it if it's on streaming somewhere.
I do want to see it. I want to see it.
I do like Ezra Miller, and I hate the fact that he's a dirtbag in real life. That sucks. 'Cause he's
I've
a
always,
good
I
actor.
mean, I
did not
collect
like his
Flash,
movie.
the kid.
His Flash character.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Weird. Okay, the next movie is called The Blackening. And
Oh, I've seen.
it's basically
commercials.
like
It's okay.
It's
It
a
looks
comedy.
funny.
It's a horror comedy. I think it's kind of like a Scream type of thing where the people use their horror knowledge to escape a
right, and there's two
a killer
killers.
type
Yeah,
of
I mean
thing.
it.
Yeah, so it's a takeoff on Scream, trying to be funny.
But it also goes on the black character dying first in
Yeah.
the movies, and so they have a lot of canned jokes that they can use based on the title and based on black characters in horror movies over time.
Yeah, so I'm not going to see that either.
Actually, you know what? I mean, I saw the preview. It looks pretty funny.
Yeah, like if it's on streaming somewhere, I might watch the first 15 minutes.
I'll
and
watch
see
it
how
over this
goes.
next movie you're going to mention.
So the next movie, the last movie I'm going to mention this week, it actually comes out this week in limited quantities, and then next week it's worldwide. Is Asteroid
I wish it
City.
never came out.
I know, right? It's Asteroid City, another Wes Anderson classic. Brian and I were talking about it ahead of time. I loved Rushmore, which is like his second movie, and I liked the Royal Tenenbaums after that. I dumped out Steve Zissou. I saw that. It was okay, but I didn't like it too much, and I stopped watching Wes Anderson movies from there on out. The deadpan thing is funny once, but when you keep going to the same well,
that's what he does.
I don't find it funny anymore. And like, you could put the Stallone in it and have the deadpan. I'm still not going to like it. It just, at this point, it's old and tired, so
yeah, I'm
done. I'm not watching Asteroid City.
Yeah, I won't. I saw the coming attraction. I was like, how is ugh. And then they can put Owen Wilson in it again. They always put the same.
Yeah, it's the same cast of characters. But then again, like I said, I'm a Kevin Smith fan, and I'll watch anything he does. There are people out there that like Wes Anderson, and they'll watch anything he does. So it's gonna have an audience. I'm not.
I will end up watching it. I won't go to the theater to see it.
Oh, still on the Wes Anderson. Can't get away.
He can't. He's in there.
Well, you know why? Wes is booze. Brian's booze.
I liked his earlier movies up till about Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou is one of my top 5 favorite movies, and I know you guys don't like it as much, or at all, but I love that movie.
It's weird how people can't give up on a director.
Life Aquatic with Steve.
Yeah, it sucked. I didn't like it that much, but anyway, it's weird how people can't give up on a director. Like Quentin Tarantino, he could put out just garbage, and people will love it because it's Quentin Tarantino.
Right. Let me say,
and like I said,
Wes Craven.
I have a soft spot for Kevin Smith, but I can say, he's made some garbage movies. Yeah. But I'll still most likely see anything he puts out. So in this case, Brian knows it's going to suck, but he's going to watch it anyway.
Like Wes Craven, I'm the same. Like see almost anything he did when he was alive. And what's his name? James Cameron. I almost watched
who
anything.
You're a sucker for? M. Night Shyamalan. You can't give that guy up.
I won't. I'll never give him up. He's got my money forever.
You can't give that guy up. Like I stopped watching his movies after the What was the one where they were old timey, but it was real life, but they were in a park?
I don't.
It was like it made it seem like they were like Amish type
Oh,
people.
the Village.
Like, the Village.
The Village.
Yeah.
That was one I didn't
So
like.
that
I
was
tapped
terrible.
out
And
after
then
that.
But he's done movies I like, and then he does crap.
I think
he does.
I was
crap.
out. I think it was the. It was like not Lady in the Water or something like that.
Or the really slow one with Bruce Willis.
No,
the first one.
no. It was the.
That sucked too.
Not Signs. The first one was Sixth Sense.
There was
Actually,
Sixth
Signs
Sense,
I
then
did
there
like.
was
Signs.
The Signs was like the
Yeah.
third.
was Unbreakable one of his?
Unbreakable. Yeah.
No, Signs was second. Unbreakable was like third or
Right.
fourth.
No,
And then
There was
Signs
one that
later.
took place in like an apartment building, and there was like a wolf and like a mermaid or something.
That was Lady
Yeah,
in the
it was
Water.
terrible,
Yeah,
and then I was out.
I didn't like that one, but I liked Old. I liked
Never
the
saw
last
it.
one he did.
I didn't like Old that much.
No, Knock at the Cabin was great. I thought that was really good.
I saw Signs
Old
and
was
enjoyed
good.
it.
I think he just wrote that one. I don't think he directed that one. Knock at the
Which
Cabin.
one?
Like something
Uh,
something was different with that one.
Somebody else
Like
directed it.
I don't
Could've
think it
sworn-
was all him.
And then he did The Visit, which wasn't too bad, but he got. I love his coming attractions. That's the problem.
Mm.
His coming
Oh.
attractions make me want to see the movie, and then it sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, he did direct it. Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah, he's
So you can't give up on.
half. Well, you know why? He's 50%. I like 50% of his movies,
Yeah.
so I have a decent shot whenever I go
I
see
thought
one
not.
of his movies.
He wrote it with two other guys. I thought it was okay. Knock at the Cabin. It was interesting.
Okay, cool. Moving on to TV.
TV.
So Netflix, I was just complaining the other day that Netflix has nothing but garbage, and I'm actually thinking about dumping my Netflix
Wow,
account
dumping Netflix.
until today.
What did they do?
They dropped a trailer for a new show. You know, they're doing the Netflix reality stuff is actually really solid, like the Full Swing, like the baseball. No,
Oh yeah.
and then
It is
Formula
good.
One. They dropped it. It's called Quarterback. And it's basically they follow Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Josh Allen
Whoa.
in the same style of like Hard Knocks and stuff.
Nice.
You know I'm gonna watch it. Now they have me a little bit longer. It comes out July 20 something. I think it comes out July 25th. No, July 12th. Sorry. So July 12th, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch every bit of it, and then I'll probably dump Netflix. But
Wow.
Quarterback.
Oh, I'm in on that.
you know that's awesome.
Of course, it's football. I'm in on that.
Yeah, and see the lifestyle of
I'm
Mahomes.
100% going to watch.
Yeah.
100%.
They're not even people I necessarily like, but once again, I don't like golf, but I watched the whole season
Yeah.
of the Full Swing thing. So boom, I'm in on it. Called Quarterback.
Awesome. Can't wait.
This is Cindy Starfall, and it's time for Mooney's Dugout. Love you, Mooney.
Just for the record, why doesn't Netflix have adult stars? Like
That would
they
be
did
awesome.
they did Quarterback, and they did the golf thing. What if they just had adult stars?
And they
size?
followed
That would
City
be awesome.
Starfall.
Yeah.
Baby.
That would be fantastic.
Mooney, if you could move your microphone, it's like blocking your. There you go.
But the problem is, all right.
You can actually, you don't have to keep it as close to your mouth.
Right,
though.
I know, but I'm here.
Just,
and
I
it
just want
doesn't-
viewers to be able to see you when you do the dugout.
doesn't bode well. I mean, like, you really messed it up when you took the arm away.
Talk to our producer. He kept complaining that it was in our faces.
Well, you could, but mine. So at least my face is blocked. Your shiny, happy face could be there.
My Ewok-looking face. So,
All right, nothing really much for sports because, but it is pretty awesome that you have two first-time winners in two of the sports. You have the Denver Nuggets winning their first NBA championship ever.
boom.
Outstanding. And by the way, I love their MVP, their star player, Nikola Jokic. This guy is what most sports stars should be about. Just go about your business, make your shots, do your thing. And when all the praise comes in, say, yeah, it was cool. It was a really fun time. You know, me and my teammates are good. Can't wait to go home. Like, oh, we did this and well, thank God. Like, you know, and, you know, making faces all over the place. Act like you've done it before, even though you've never have. So that, man, I really have a lot of respect for Nikola Jokic, and he lost his, like, the MVP trophy, like lost it, like completely gave it to someone and doesn't know where it is. So obviously it didn't mean much to him.
Wow, that's nuts.
And then you have the Vegas Golden Knights winning their first Stanley Cup.
Boom.
What is their, like, 5th year in?
Sixth.
Fourth?
They're sixth.
Sixth.
Yes. They
went their first year and lost to the Caps, and now their 6th year in, they win the whole entire thing.
Now they're essentially the first brand new team, or the fastest brand new team to win a Stanley Cup. Used to be held by the Philadelphia Flyers, but
and they messed it up.
Yes,
but you know what though? Here's the thing: the NHL sucks because they gave the Vegas Golden Knights like an all-star team, like when they were first year. Like, they let them poach great players from all 29 other teams. Like, it was like,
you know, I get it first year, in the fact that, like, first year, the other thing that happened was the Vegas flu, as they kept calling it. Whereas, like, the other teams would go to Vegas and they'd party their balls off, and then they'd be hungover for the actual game.
Right. Yeah.
And so Vegas had a huge advantage that first year. Didn't have it so much afterwards, but 6 years in, that's good management. That's good. Like, there's not many people from that original team left.
I know, but they were given how many decent draft picks? They were allowed to poach 2 players from, like, every team. And then if they wanted to protect that player, like the Islanders did, they gave them draft picks. So, like, this team had it all from the beginning.
I agree. And if they did it within the first year or two or so, I would be like 100%.
They almost did.
They almost did. And I would have been on that bandwagon with you, going, it's complete crap.
But they've been good every year.
And I'm not a Golden Knights fan necessarily, but they're doing something right as far as general management goes, where they're picking solid players.
Right.
Like Phil Kessel. Come on. Phil Kessel's got 3 Stanley Cups now, but he's been bounced around.
Yeah.
However, people don't like his work ethic necessarily, but come on.
Isn't their GM, the former GM of the Capitals, George
McPhee? Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I think he is. But it's like, I think a lot of credit goes to that, to be able to, and Jonathan Quick too. Like, they're basically taking waivers out on people that could be viewed as past their prime. So I can't fault them. As much I'm not a Golden Knights fan. I think their uniform's stupid. I think the only thing they do well is the pre-show.
I hate that.
I love
the pre-show. It's like,
he doesn't like it because when the Caps went to the Stanley Cup, he had to watch it all the time. But I love
it's like that night restaurant thing that you go to where they fight at the beginning of the like where you eat.
Yeah,
medieval times. It's horrible.
They didn't have silverware back in medieval times. Can I get a Pepsi? Okay. So I like the medieval times. And the one thing too is you got to appreciate Vegas, like, is a tough city to embrace a team.
Oh, they embraced it all the way.
They've embraced them big time. And
I don't think it's that hard, man. They were starving.
I saw that the Game 5 final, or the series, was the least watched NHL series finale ever.
Sure, because look at the team. Like,
well, because the 2 teams that were involved won, and it was a big one.
And for the record, I was rooting for Florida, by the way, Sergei Bobrovsky.
I was rooting for Florida too, and it was 3-1 series. Typically, people don't watch because they know it's gonna, I'm
kind of disappointed. Like, I know, like, what I love is the injury reports that come out like a couple days later, and you find out what people have been playing.
Like
with
Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah,
he's a great player. By the way,
somebody was basically playing with a dislocated shoulder and a broken foot, throughout the playoffs. And
those guys played with everything, man.
Like, I woke up, I have a pinched nerve in my back at the moment,
and you're like, I can't make it.
And I haven't, like, I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't do like, I'm sitting on a heating pad and all
Right.
this stuff.
These guys break their foot and play hockey.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, let's go check each other in the boards and skate at a high level." I'm like, with a broken foot. That's nuts.
Yeah, tolerance for pain is crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how many like shots they take to like not feel it, but the next day, next day is rough. But
yeah, I mean, outside that, I mean, baseball. I mean, oh God, it's gonna be wasteland for sports for the next few months.
Yeah, this is your worst time of the year.
Yeah, it's only baseball.
Yeah,
and WNBA.
Mm-hmm. See, I get jazzed up for like the hockey, like the draft, and I get jazzed up for all the stuff like that.
That's fine. That'll get me through. But there is a nice, 3-week period in the summer where it's going to be U.S. Women's World Cup. Can't wait.
No chance I'm watching it.
Oh, absolutely.
No
100%
chance.
I'm watching. Bars are going to be.
Wow. And I will not be there, folks. Okay, is that
rooting the USA on?
Is that the
that's it? Done.
Of the,
see ya.
Okay, boom. Next up, bacon. Wrong one. We're not doing the warm up again. Anyway, we'll just assume because it was heavy. We'll just assume that was ready for Matt's backstage pass.
There we go.
Okay, so Matt's backstage pass. You are going to be excited to know this, sir. But Nickelback announced that they're going to extend their tour. So it's been doing so well that they're extending their U.S. tour.
No way it's doing well. Do people go to Nickelback concerts?
Typically, you don't extend your tour if it's doing bad.
Maybe they're trying to get more tickets because they're like, oh my God.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Zero.
Do you understand like how much just putting on a show cost? Who was it? Dave Mustaine from Megadeth just came out in the paper saying that touring is so expensive. On the off days when they're not touring, it costs them $45,000 a day.
Why?
Because keep in mind, you're still paying for the trucks, you're still paying for the crew, you're paying for the hotel rooms, you're paying for the food, you're paying for all that stuff, even when you're not actually touring. So every other day, let's say, because they're not playing every single night.
Right. No, they're not.
So the off days are costing them $45,000. Wow. That's nuts. And so trust me, Nickelback, if they weren't selling any tickets, would be like, we're going to scale this back a little bit.
Yeah. Holy cow.
But the fact that they're extending it is like, man, people.
Yeah, that means they're still selling out.
People talk trash.
What kind of stadium? Are they selling out like
the arenas?
Arenas?
Yeah. And the thing is
18, 20.
Yeah. The thing with Nickelback though, somebody was trying to say this, like, and I'm not that big of a fan, but I did watch a Nickelback concert on YouTube, like just to scroll through to see if I would even like it. I knew every song. Like you
did not.
I think I knew every song because they're all songs you heard on the radio 50 million times. So you don't think about it, but they have 15 songs that they could just rattle off, and you're going to be like, oh, I love that song, that kind of thing. So, so I guess that's what it is. People want to trash them, but hey, they're doing something right. So I can't argue that one.
All right.
And so let's see, new music this week. A little thing for everybody. John Mellencamp is putting out his 25th album.
So is he now just John Mellencamp, not Cougar? John Cougar?
Yeah, it's just John Mellencamp.
Okay.
Don't think I don't have his autograph right up there.
Of course you do.
The album is called Orpheus Descending.
That is a weird name.
He's a weird dude. I'm not going to lie. Kind of a weird dude, but he signs through the mail, so he's awesome. I do like me some Mellencamp, but
he's got some good songs. He's got a good voice.
His greatest hits is pretty solid. Like he's got some.
Oh yeah, Pink Houses, dude.
Jack and Diane. Come on.
Jack and Diane's a great song.
It's just a little ditty, but it's great.
Jack and Diane, Pink. Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Jack and Diane, Pink Houses.
Those are the top two.
Was he? I Fought the Law, and no.
What
was the law when he did? That was
he did. He might have covered it, but I don't think he did. No. Paper and Fire was awesome.
He did some
Scarecrow.
song about law or something like.
He did ROCK in the USA.
Hurt So Good, Jack and Diane, Small Town, Pink Houses.
Small Town's awesome too.
Cherry Bomb.
Cherry Bomb's
Authority
classic.
Song.
Authority Song. I think
that's
it.
One
yeah. But Crumbling Down, like
ROCK in
his
the
whole
USA, I Need a Lover.
wild, yeah,
Tons of great songs.
Very good.
dude, it's great.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, you go see John Mellencamp in concert. Don't think you're not getting
Does
a good
he
show.
still? What kind of things is Mellencamp now? Like if he tours, what would he?
He would
arenas or would he be Tally Ho?
No, he's not Tally Ho. He would play. He could pull like out summer concert like Jiffy Lube type. He could do a.
He could do Jiffy.
Yeah. He
All
could
right.
do probably 10,000 seaters.
Okay.
I would say.
So like
yeah, or
Merriweather.
good
Wolf
long,
Trap.
yeah, he would do like a Wolf Trap Merriweather
Yeah,
or something
okay.
along those lines, and it would be a great show. You'd be you'd be singing most of the songs. He did throw a couple in just for him and his band, I guess, to play, but that's when you go get a drink. You know, which interesting enough on that
A deep cut.
on that, I mentioned last week that Extreme put out a new album called Six. It's actually pretty damn fantastic.
Come on.
The interesting thing is, the funniest thing about it is one of the new songs they put out is called Rise. And you know how you go see a band live and we're going to play their new stuff and everybody heads for the bathroom or get drinks. When they're playing like Rise, people are like busting their phones out because Nuno Betancourt's guitar solo in that song is insane. And people want to see if he really can play it live, like on the album. And he throws a little nod to like Eddie Van Halen in the solo, and Van Halen had a little bit was in the studio when they recorded. So there's some history about it, but it's interesting because you never hear that. I don't care who the band is.
Yeah.
Whatever their new album is, nobody wants to hear it.
Right. No.
But yet Extreme, they go play Rise live and
Extreme
people are
is,
like, hey,
kicking it.
It's actually good. It is actually a good album.
You did not listen to it.
I did. Don't think I
Jesus.
didn't. I love Extreme. So anyway,
You love a lot of bands.
A band actually I don't love, but a lot of people love them is Queens of the Stone Age. They have a new album out.
No one cares.
Called In Time's New Roman.
Why would they even release an album? No one's
I
gonna
like
buy
their
it.
first
People-
album.
People love that band. I don't get it.
Why?
I will never understand it. I think the vocals are always Brian. You can tell me this 'cause if you like the first album. Is it me or does it seem like Josh Homme's vocals are always lower than the rest of the band? Like it seems like the way it's mixed,
Somewhat.
it's always
Well,
lower.
on that
and
album,
it
they
annoys
had what's his name on drums, and I did roll. I don't know that he's still playing drums for them now.
No,
but
no,
like,
they have
he was like bashing the drums like he usually does. So like that was loud and.
There's a kind of music. It was like a drug kind of music that somebody was trying to point me out to. And Queens of the Stone Age was that type of band, and it was like the vocals weren't supposed to be the
it kind of
piece
is that way.
And it annoyed me to no end. Because for me, I like to listen to the vocals. I'm like, come on, dude.
I did dig that first album, but I haven't really followed them since then. And I know they put out like a ton of albums.
I never followed them, nor will I ever.
You shouldn't. They suck. I don't like them. Anyway, next one is Cat Stevens, aka Yusuf Islam, depending on how you want to cover it. Cat Stevens is a dude that could sing the phone book, and I'm gonna love it. Literally, I love like his voice.
Cat Stevens is still around,
and he sounds awesome. His voice, the way he sings, it's easy.
Yeah,
he's easy to do it, yeah. But like. Dude, nothing sucks about Cat Stevens. Like I said, he could do a new song and it will still sound great because it'll sound like Cat Stevens.
Yeah, he's got a really good voice. I agree.
Dude, Peace Train.
Father
solid.
and Son is in everything now.
Father and Son is so good, though. It never sucks. Wild World's classic.
Yeah. Wild World's a great song.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
Cats in the Cradle. He's Cats in the Cradle, right?
No, that was Jim Croce.
You're thinking
I believe?
Father and Son is the
Harry Chapin.
What song?
You're thinking of Father and Son. It's like.
Yeah.
No, but I thought he said Cats in the Cradle.
No, that's not him.
Yeah,
I know it's not him, but I'm thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Cats in the Cradle is Harry Chapin.
Harry Chapin.
I think so.
Yeah.
I get him and Jim Croce screwed up all the time. So somebody, I think the last time I did it wrong and somebody wrote in and said I was wrong and they were right. I was wrong, but it's one of the two.
All right.
But I think it's Harry Chapin. Cat Stevens, awesome. I got his greatest hits. Don't think I don't.
You have his autograph?
No. I think he's a hard one to get a hold of.
But you've tried.
Well, he lives in like on a kibbutz in like Israel.
In like a
So
tent.
yeah. Well,
That
actually,
wasn't your
he's not.
nickname back in high school?
He's not Jewish, so he's not living in a
Yeah.
kibbutz. I mean, but he's whatever he is on the Muslim side.
I'm surprised. I thought, kibbutz was your...
Yeah. Oh, I would totally live in a kibbutz. Except for, do you know what a kibbutz is? You don't even know.
Why would you want to live in a kibbutz?
I know a person that actually lived in a kibbutz for a couple of years.
Of course you did.
So it's like a Smurf village, for lack of better terms. So the kibbutz is the Jewish version, but essentially, if you're like a baker, you're the baker for the whole community. So
What?
Everybody does a part.
It's like a
And
commune type thing deal.
It is. It's a
Oh,
commune.
a commune. Okay,
It's
got
a
it.
commune, but see, I would suck because I don't bring anything to the table.
So they have a
You'd be the
commune.
guy
Yeah,
that
you
just
do.
eats
You're,
everything.
I know. Well,
You
that's
could be
the thing.
the encourager,
but no,
like, oh, that food's really good.
you're the
Like,
entertainer.
oh, your band
Oh,
is,
plus
the
you're
music is
life
really good.
oh, that is true. I
You're a
could be
life coach.
yeah.
You can fight off
be
the
a
sea
life
Totally the
animals.
life
Yeah.
coach.
But I'm the Papa Smurf then.
Like,
but
if
it is
there's
a
any
Smurf
like
village.
animals that threaten like mountain lions, you can beat them up.
Yeah, like I guess that's it. Like, no, but I'm telling you, I'm the Papa Smurf because just Papa Smurf didn't do
He's
anything.
Life coach and
He was
and-
life coach.
and commune defense, animal
Yeah.
I
defense.
used to love this.
Yeah,
Smurfs were awesome.
and Smurfette did nothing either.
Well, nor
although-
should she.
But I think she had to bang all 100
I thought
Smurfs.
she took care of like the flowers and stuff, and didn't she
No,
plan
'cause that
parties and
was-
stuff, or was
I think Vanity did
Oh.
that. No, she did nothing. All the other Smurfs were gaga over and did everything for her.
she had a good deal?
That's
Hey,
literally.
man, but she's
It was
No, it's
basically
like, hey, she-
OnlyFans.
She was the only. I know, right? She was the only girl in the whole commune.
Smurfette OnlyFans.
And, outside of Vanity, everybody else is trying to hook up with her, and she had to give in. So it's not. He's not wrong. It is Smurfette OnlyFans, which, by the way, that could be our show title. Smurfette's
Do you
OnlyFans.
think Brainy Smurf, who probably made a lot of money, was like subscribing?
You know it. But see, I don't know. Like, does Papa Smurf get?
He had it. He is subscribed
Does
too.
Papa Smurf get first dibs with
You gotta pay. You can't. If you give it away free, you gotta give it away free to everybody. You can't.
Well, no, that's part of the commune. She's not making money off of that. She's just paying.
Why
her
would she not make money off of OnlyFans? You're supposed to make a lot of money on it.
No, but the thing is, like, she gets to eat for free. She gets to live for free. 'cause
In the,
she's
commune, but
yeah.
outside the commune, you gotta like advertise there.
I don't know that there's many people looking for little blue people in their OnlyFans,
Wait a
unless
minute.
you're a
So you're
Smurf.
saying there's only one commune of Smurfs? There's no other like Smurfs anywhere else?
No, because they were made by Gargamel.
The wizard.
He made the Smurfs.
Oh, but
So they're the
I
only
never understood
ones.
why he made the
They-
Smurfs. Can we talk about that?
I know he hated them
But
so
he made
much.
them,
and
so
he-
I don't understand that.
Yeah, it was kind of, and he was trying to.
Kinda
Wasn't he
weird.
trying to eat them too? Like
I
he
think
always tried to put them
Azrael
in a
was trying
bowl.
to eat them. The cat.
Oh, okay, but
What was the cat's
Azrael.
name?
Azrael.
Azrael. That's what I thought.
But it's like, I don't know. He could have made a couple more girls to help Smurfette out. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
why didn't he only make one?
I know that's pretty suspect. You know,
He could have had a Smurfette, a Smurf
Well,
chick.
I mean, he did
Smurf
have a cat and lived alone. So
like a Mama Smurf.
is true.
Why not? You had a Papa Smurf. Why not a Mama Smurf?
do you think he created Smurfette just for his own doings? Like he likes them
Now we're
short.
getting
No,
kinda
I think-
weird.
Saying he
I mean, he
created
created a
them.
lot more dudes than
Here we go.
Yeah, but the dudes did stuff. Like Brainy did stuff.
maybe Smurfette was an
Andy-
accident. I don't
Yeah,
know.
the
Yeah, Brainy,
Handy did stuff. The
It
Baker
was weird
one.
that there was only
Christopher-
one female Smurf.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
She
She
they
got
redo
tired
that.
at the
They
end
need
of
to
the
make
day.
more. They need to make more females.
I think they did in the later generations, but they had like a country bumpkin girl one because they found
When
a
is this
couple
movie
more.
Barbie coming out? Apparently, it's like 18 Barbies.
No
This is
chance
gonna
that's
be
going to be good.
No, it's a
No
complete
Well,
train
chance.
wreck.
That's
they're all named Barbie. It's like a world of Barbies.
Yeah,
all-
it
like
looks
all
like
the men
it.
are
I-
named
there is
Ken and
no
all the women
chance
are
I
named
can see
Barbie.
that, other than Margot Robbie.
yeah. I'm not going to see it.
I would
don't
see
care.
it. I mean, that would be one reason I see it, but I probably won't. The only way I would go see it is if Cindy Starfall was one of the Barbies.
Yeah, like the movie would have to be called Barbie Naked and Loving It. For
I
me
don't
to
know
go
if
see
they would
it.
call the movie that. They're
I'm
going to
just
lose
saying.
a lot of viewers.
That's the only way I would ever go see this movie.
No parents would take their kid to see Barbie is naked.
and loving it. You got to have the and loving it part. It's, it makes it fun. And so, I don't know. There's no chance I'm going to see it.
No chance.
There's nothing
Well,
good.
it's also got
Nothing
Wednesday
good coming.
Was
with
there
the dude
any
I
other
hate.
music this week that is actually worth mentioning?
Interesting. There's another solo. It's probably like the second or third solo album by Steve Lukather. And
What?
big fan of Steve Lukather.
No, you're not.
I am actually. Steve Lukather is basically a session musician who did the music for Beat It. So he was also a founding member of Toto, because that was a bunch of session musicians.
Okay.
Steve Lukather, if you literally look at his background, he had a part of so many.
I got it up here. Staying Alive. How Deep Is Your Love? Africa. Hold the Line. More Than a Woman.
But
he doesn't sing.
Rosanna.
He plays guitar and sings.
Night Fever.
He even had something to do, if I'm correct, with the Ghostbusters theme too. But
Jive Talking. Just tons.
Steve Lukather.
Dope.
Yeah, dude's awesome. I totally would. If we could have like an awesome guest on the show, Steve Lukather would be one.
Well, hook it up.
That dude can tell stories like a champ.
I'll get him.
Brian. Yep. Make it happen, Brian.
Next week. All right.
Okay, but anyway, that's it. That's it for music of or backstage pass.
Bam.
So anyway, I think we said it all.
I think we did.
I think we did. Once again, administrative. We have a show next week, but then we're off for the 2 weeks after that, folks.
Yes, we are. All right. You know who's never off, because he's always on point. All music, all tech support for Subfacts is provided by our friend Andy at Creative Underground. He runs a state-of-the-art production studio in Leesburg, Virginia. And you and me, and everyone can find out more by going to his website. But that's not where it ends, folks. He does video live stream events. He does youth sports, corporate events, weddings, concerts, pro karaoke, and more. He's the best audio and video tech guy you will find. Go to his website, please, immediately.
www.creativeunderground.co, not .com. And then up next, we've got Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com. You say, Ben, can you take pictures of buildings? Yes, I got you, because I'm a drone certified, FAA certified pilot of drones.
He's a pimp.
Then
PIMP.
Lately, he's been doing I think they do Tough Mudders, like the people doing these challenges and stuff.
He does those?
He's been taking pictures of people, athletes doing stuff.
Oh, so they can do the advertisements on their website.
I guess. His Facebook's all over the place. And so my man takes mad shots. So if you're looking for action shots, that's your boy, Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
What do you do with him?
You're looking for business headshots, commercial real estate marketing, corporate events, team imaging. You think of pictures, you think of Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
Yes, I know I do.
I do as well.
Awesome. All right. Well, to wrap it up, the guy who clowned us for making fun of Brian, coming to Brian's defense, I like it.
Fair enough.
But that's only because he is we always had the best of the best on the show. Mm. And Big Dog Auto Detailing is going to be your key to looking good for the summer. I swear, you got to call him now, because he's got a wait list, as long as can be. You got to give him a call, 571-233-8716. Here's why. If you have a car, if you have a truck, if you have a Jeep, a trailer. I don't even know if he does boats. Maybe he does boats. But
he does everything.
So
if it moves, he's washing it.
If it moves, he's going to make it look like $1 million. The guy is magic with water, sponges, and wax. Anything you need, just give him a buzz. 571-233-8716.
Big Dog Auto Detailing. 571-233-8716. And now it comes to us. As we've mentioned many a time lately, we are putting a big emphasis on our YouTube channel. So please, if you haven't already,
Do it.
like, subscribe, hit the notification button on our YouTube channel so you can see all the things we're doing. I found out like BK, he was just like, I don't even know how to find your YouTube channel.
What?
And he was like, I just listened
Thanks
to
a
your
lot.
audio. And I was like, I know, right? I was like, dude, how
Dude,
hard
we have
is it?
all sorts of cool stuff. You had the bear chase
Yeah,
video.
we
You had the
have,
Halloween
we have a
video,
ton of stuff on our
the
channel.
Rosati's trip.
Yeah, we have all kinds of things. So, folks, it's not difficult. Go to YouTube, search Subfacts Podcast. We're kind of the only one.
Do it.
And so make sure you hit like, subscribe, and the notification button. If you want to write into our show, just like Rob and Space Coast Bill did.
Yeah, give us your, I mean, it'll be a week late, but still, we'll talk about your favorite dads from TV.
Exactly. Subfacts Podcast.
Every week is Father's Day week in our world.
That is true. Or, like, obviously, if you think we got it wrong, we don't think we got it wrong. But if you think we did, write in subfactspodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, you know what I forgot? I should have put Peter Griffin in my list.
Well, you could do Homer Simpson.
Again,
in the
terrible
scene.
dads.
Simpson.
Homer
Simpson's
Simpson's
a
gotten better,
great
but
dad.
in the
What are you
beginning,
talking
he used to
about?
physically choke his kid.
That's true. Or like Stan, but
It's tough.
And Peter
called
Griffin
tough
like hates his daughter Meg. He treats her horribly.
Is it? Is it?
He does hate
Who's the
his
South
daughter,
Park?
Meg.
The South Park dad who was on Wheel of Fortune.
No,
Was
don't
it
mention.
Stan or whatever?
Yes, Stan.
And so, yeah.
Oh my-
No, the cartoon dads, you might have to leave them off the
Brian
register.
goes, he choked his. No, wait. He hated Meg. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did. Peter Griffin hated.
Yeah. So, and even
So
like,
did Lois. So did the wife.
even American Dad. But anyway, I forgot where. Yeah. So if you want to write into our show, subfactspodcast@gmail.com. If you want to learn more about our show and get our merch, go to subfactspodcast.com. Make sure you get the beach towels because they're awesome. And
Yeah, get all the merch you can.
the one thing, folks, we really need you to do, and I call these people out. I do see which states, people are listening to our show, and there's definitely states where I know I don't know people. So
Yeah.
I know there's listeners out there, folks, that constantly listen.
Introduce yourself.
Write in, introduce yourself, but more importantly, tell your friends. Tell your friends to listen. Tell your friend, like, however you listen, tell them to listen, or tell them to go to iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, Apple, whatever it is. But
Right, like if you want to suggest an idea, like top 5 summer barbecue foods, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Just please tell your friends. We need to get the numbers up for the show and all that kind of good stuff. So tell your friends, folks.
tell your friends.
And watch our YouTube. So I think we've said it all. I just wish everybody who's out there who's a dad have a safe and happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
And happy Father's Day to my own dad, who you mentioned didn't remember my birthday.
He still deserves that.
But happy
Father's
birthday
Day.
to your dad,
Yes.
the Master Coxman.
Oh my God.
Mooney.
Yes. If you're listening, Dad, love you, buddy. Happy Father's Day.
Brian, do you want to give a happy Father's Day to your
Happy
dad? No
Father's Day to
pressure.
my father as well.
Boom. Awesome. So happy Father's Day, folks, and we will see you next time.
Hey up.
Boom.